Alright guys, so it is another Saturday, time to get the video uploaded. So I'm going to do another deck profile for you guys. I'm going to be doing a Monarchs, as you can tell by the title. But I want to thank you guys so much for all the support on the last videos. They've gotten really good reviews. I know the pack opening one didn't do too well, but I think the deck profiles are going to do better. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing these, and if you guys, I'm going to repeat this at the end of the video, but if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know for videos or deck profiles, and I'll try to do them as much as I can for you guys. But if you guys are new, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button so you guys can stay in tune for the weekly Yu-Gi-Oh video uploaded. But I will go ahead and go show you guys the rest of the video. So this is my Monarchs, Domain Monarchs deck profile. This isn't like the normal ones because I do have a few changes in the actual deck itself, but I'll explain that when we get into it. But first off, there you have your 3 ofs. I run 3 Edea, the Heavenly Squire. Edea, when she is normal or special, you can special summon another monster from the deck that has her same attack and defense values. So you normally go into Eidos. Speaking of Eidos, the next one is Eidos, the Underworld Squire. His is whenever he is normal or special, you get an extra tribute summon. And because this deck is all about tributing summoning to get into your bigger monsters, he is really good to just get the extra tribute off. Alright, and then off onto the 2 ofs. I run 2 Caius, the Shadow Monarch. This is one of the things I run differently than most. Most people would rather run Kuraz, but I like Kuraz, but the fact that with him is you can banish any card on the field instead of you can target your opponent's cards. But with Kuraz, you mainly do it for yourself because whenever Kuraz sends a card to the graveyard, you draw the owner draws a card. But so that's why I go Caius. All right. Next onto your Fiends, your Vanities. I run 2 Vanities Fiend. Vanities Fiend just means neither player can special summon, and since this whole deck is to lock out your opponent from playing anything that they would like, this is just really good all around because they can't special summon, which means extra deck is useless, and since those are on extra deck, it's really nice. Alright, and then I run the 1 Majesty's Fiend. This is really good, especially because it is searchable, because it's a 24 and a 1000, but this as itself, this card is really good because it stops hand traps, it starts graveyard effects, it starts field effects. So you definitely want to use this after you get your board set up. But even then, with that, no one can do anything because it's just a 24 and you can just beat down anything unless they have something out already, but you got other ways to get around that. Alright, next on to our Mega Monarchs. I run 1 Caius, the Mega Monarch. His ability is he can target anything on the board and send it to and banish it, and you take 1,000. And if he is tributed using a dark monster, you get an extra effect where you can target 2 cards. And then if it is a dark monster or that he banishes, your opponent must banish all copies of that card from the graveyard, deck, and extra deck, and the field. So really good. I saved up my butt a few times. Alright, next we're going on to Erebus. Erebus, the Underworld Monarch. He just, whenever he gets sent, he's really good because his ability doesn't target. And his ability is when he's tribute summoned, send 2 cards, 2 Monarch spell or traps cards from the deck to the graveyard, and you get his effect where you can you don't target, but you can send anything on the field, graveyard, or hand back into the deck. And it's like really good because when you get a problematic monster out, it doesn't target. So if it says you can't be targeted, he doesn't target, which is really nice. And then his graveyard effects is discard a Monarch spell or trap and add a Monarch back to your hand that has a 2400 attack and 1000 defense or more. So you can use it to get him to recycle himself out of the graveyard, or you can do it for Caius or any of the other ones there. And then on to the 1 Ehther. Ehther is just amazing because if you have her in your hand, you can play on your opponent's turn. That's basically what she does. Is you send 2 spell or traps, you special summon any monarch with 2400 attack or more from your deck straight to the field, but it goes back to your hand at the end of the turn. It's really an easy way to get your monarchs going. But her effect is quick. Her quick effect is what makes her really good, and which is why she's limited. Is during your opponent's turn, discard a card. No, it's banish a card. 1 second. So her effect is when she's in your hand, you can banish a monarch spell or trap in the graveyard and tribute summon her. So since it's a tribute summon, you get her effect and you can have 2 monsters out on your opponent's turn, which is really nice. Alright, then on to the hand traps. I run the 1 Ghost Ogre. I would switch out this I would switch to 2 Ghost Ogres if I didn't run a Droll and Lockbird, which is the next one. But Ghost Ogre is just really good in general. 1 Droll and Lock. Like I said, I'd probably switch this out for another Ghost Ogre, but I don't have one. Droll. As soon as your opponent goes into your deck, discard this. They can't go into their deck other than that one time. That is it for the monsters. So now let's go on to spells. Alright, on to spells. I run triple Allure because most of your deck is dark. You can run this without having any problem, and sometimes you want the spells and traps in the graveyard or people in the graveyard. It works perfect, and it's a draw 2. It's a free draw 2, basically, with the banished. And then the bread and butter of the deck, Domain of the Monarchs. Whenever you control a tribute summon monster, your opponent cannot go into their extra deck. And each monarch gains 800 attack when they're attacking. But, well, it's only when you're attacking. It doesn't have to be Monarch, so this is really good for like Majesty's for Vanity's Fiend. Also gets the buff with this as well. On to my 2. I run 2 Return of the Monarchs. I normally, if I have 1 out, I normally send 1 to the graveyard for Erebus or Ehther's effect. This is always just a nice little target, but if you have 1 on the field, this is an easy way to get into your Monarchs, because whenever you're tribute summoned, you can add any Monarch from your deck to your hand. Your Tenacity allows you to reveal, and you get to search any card you want, which is really, really amazing, because there's times where you open up with this, and you can do everything with this. If you open up with this in your hand, you should not lose. 1 Monarchs Stormforth. This is really good to get rid of problematic monsters on your opponent's side of the field. And it's also a quick play, so if you have this and another trap that I'll show you here in a bit active, you can play on your opponent's turn with your opponent's monsters, and it's really great. 1 Pantheism, another search engine. You discard a monarch spell or trap, gain 2, and then you can banish, and your opponent, you put 3 out, and your opponent has to choose 1. It goes to your hand, the other remaining go into the deck. Really good to get out, and it's another draw engine. I play 1 March. 1 March of the Monarchs. Tribute monsters cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. This is like a very situational card. I don't use it that often, but it's Restoration of the Monarchs. It came new into the Flames of Destruction. Is target a monster in your graveyard with a 4,000 attack. The basic requirements is special summon it, and it counts as 2 tribute monsters if you're going to tribute it, but its effects are negated. Alright, on to the rest of the one-offs. Foolish Burial, send Erebus, send Eidos. You can get nice plays out of this. 1 for 1, really great for Edea. You always want to get Edea out with this, because Edea is a level 1. In Edea, whenever she special summon, allows you to special summon again. Then Dark Hole is just your clear, just self-explanatory. And on to the traps. I run 2 Monarchs Erupt. When you have no cards in your extra deck and you have a true summon monster, negate all effects of monsters on the field with other those that are being tribute summoned. So this is really great. It does screw over your own plays if you don't have your board set up good. But if you have your board set up and you go into this, you don't need to worry about it. I run 2 Prime of the Monarchs. I use 1 on the field to actually do the effect to draw the card, and 1 I use to recycle my graveyard. because what happens is when this is in the graveyard, banish a card, special summon it in defense position. And it's a monster and it's a fairy type. And it's just really good because you can, if you don't have anything out on the field like an Edea or an Eidos, this is an easy way to get a card monster out. And then this is the one escalation of the Monarchs. This is the last this is the last trap. And this is also the one that I was talking about with Monarchs Stormforth, because when you go into escalation, once per turn you contribute during your opponent's main phase, and then if you have this, you don't have to trigger this right at their main phase. You can do it whenever during their main phase. And this one, as soon as they tribute a monster, go ahead, tribute it. As long as the monster doesn't have a quick effect, it doesn't get its effect off, because you can just do it on its summon. You can just destroy people like that. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you basically a little combo that you can do with this to get to play on your opponent's turn, and to make sure you get domain out and you get 2 tribute monsters, so you have 2 backups for this. But we're going to go ahead and start off. You're going to want to play the 1/1 for 1, and you want to discard the Eidos to special summon an Edea from the deck. Edea's effect activates, special summons an Eidos. Eidos' effects activates, you now have 2 tribute summons. Well, you don't want to use both, but you need 2 to get out your next boss monster. So you tribute the 2 for Erebus. From Erebus, you send a Prime, and you send a Pantheism. You send Prime and a Pantheism to the graveyard. If this is opening turn, take an opponent's card from their hand and put it back in the deck. Or if it's your second turn, get rid of a problematic monster. From there, you are going to banish the Prime, Pantheism. You're going to banish Pantheism, and you're going to reveal all 3 domains. All 3. Because what happens is, how Pantheism works is you have to reveal 3. If you reveal 3 of the same card, they just pick one. Then you play it, and then you pass turn. Now your opponent can't go into their extra day. Main phase, go ahead, banish the Prime, summon Ehther. Ehther summons out another. I would normally go into a Mega Caius for a problematic next turn, so you can get rid of 2 cards if you tribute Erebus, or you can get back Eidos or Edea from the graveyard. This is just a very safe 4-card hand. If you have anything else in your hand, great. But this is a very safe, and you got 1, 2 tribute monsters, and you got a 3rd on your next turn. But yeah, but of course with Ethers, you need to send 2 more cards. And it's really much a throwaway from there. You can do another Prime, you can do a Monarch's escalation, you can do anything, because from there, it's pretty much a throwaway for you to get the win. Well, alright, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. 1 second. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know I've done a lot of deck profiles, but they're getting really good response from them, so I'm going to keep doing them. So let me know in the comments below what you guys want me to try out next. I am going to be redoing my Blue Eyes deck profile here pretty soon, because I got more cards for it. I got like the Blue Spirits White, alternatives are on their way, so I'm going to redo my deck profile for that. But that's going to be for probably the next ban list. But if you guys also have any other suggestions about what you guys want me to do for videos, go ahead, let me know, and I'll go ahead and try to do some of those if I can, and let me know what you guys want to see. But if that's it, then thank you guys for watching. Thank you, and have yourself a great day, and good luck with your duels.